Hey everybody, Annette here, also known as Grandma D. Today we are working on clue number 3 from Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt Fall 2024, Wild West. And as you know, if you've been following my channel, my color of choice is Mystic Cactus. And this is the booklet that they recommend that we keep with us through the entire process. The sign-ups have closed for this Puzzle Mystery Quilt, but there's another one on the horizon, so be watching for that one because the sign-ups will be coming soon. And this booklet includes all of our ship dates for the clues for this quilt, and on the back is really important. This tells us the letters of the fabric colors that we're using so that we can coordinate this with our clue that we get through the email, or it might come hard piece in your quilt box. If you ordered your whole quilt at once, maybe you're getting it that way. Now we are making 4 pieces, 4 individual blocks, puzzle pieces. They are not a traditional block. They are puzzle mystery pieces that at the end, when we get how the puzzle all fits together, it'll all make sense. So that's what we're working on today, is these 4 sections right here in clue number 3, and I am doing the small quilt for this, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Now I have all of my pieces laid out here on my board, and I have them all marked B, C, E, E, and D. Okay, so those are all laid out and ready to go, and I have taken a little bit of a preview on how all this is going to go together. And I have my iron over here to my right. I picked up a different iron, in case you didn't notice. I got this at a garage sale for $10. It's a little heavy because it has a retractable cord unit in the bottom. It's a GE iron, and I have it. Today's the first time I'm using it. I just got it. Like I said, I picked it up at a garage sale the other day. It had a really nice point on it, and I liked the retractable cord thing, so I thought, well, I'll get that and give it a try. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started with this. Now the first thing we have to do is sew a small C triangle to a small E triangle, and making 8 of them. Now because we're making 4 different puzzle pieces, as I said, we're going to come out with 4 puzzle pieces. We're making quite a few more of each one than we had before. So you want to be mindful if you're working on your clues. Right here it tells you how many of each one that you need to have. Okay, so you want to be mindful of that as well. It's very important. So we're going to sew a C triangle to an E triangle, making 8 of those, and they measure 3.5 by 3.5. So C and E. These are our C's right here. These are our E's. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to chain piece these together. And because these are all die cut, right sides together. Oh my goodness. Like I said in my last video, that's our mantra. Right sides together, right sides together. Because these are die cut, they fit together so nicely. So nicely. And in my first 2 clues that I put together, I did not do any real squaring up. If I was cutting them myself, I would be more mindful of squaring up, but this time I'm not. And also, I have 2 bobbins up here on the ready. I used up another spool of my Missouri Star thread, and I thought it might be worth mentioning, I throw these in the recycle bin. I do not know if they're recyclable. I took the label off the bottom and I checked. I don't see anywhere on here or on here where it says it's recyclable, but because it's plastic, I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there today when I'm done. And we are using ivory in the bobbin and in my Dritz cone holder. You can see it back there in the corner. That's my king size cone, and that's my Dritz cone holder back there. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to chain piece these on the 1/4 inch. Oh, I need a leader. Almost forgot. I have a bunch of squares over here to the side. I am making little 9 patches with leaders and enders. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in there. As I said before, the sign-ups have closed for this Puzzle Mystery Quilt, but you can follow us all along, and I would love to have you here following along with me as we go through this quilt. These colors are so beautiful, and I just love them. I'll turn these over. We need 8 of these. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take these stickers off of here. These are little stick-on stickers. They're by Lori Holt. I got a package of them from RebFab Stash. I'm an affiliate with Rebs, and there will be a link to their website, my link, in the notes below this video. And if you would like to go and check out RebFab Stash and see what they have, if you make any purchases, I would earn a small commission from that, and I would appreciate that. If you choose to pin, that's fine. If you're more comfortable pinning, please go right ahead and do so. These are all cut on the bias. Most of these pieces are cut on the bias, so you want to be careful. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, this one was backwards. I thought the other one was too. Let me double check that. No, they're good. You get to talking, and sometimes you can't do 2 things at once. It's like walking and chewing gum, right? We're going to make a lot of flying geese in this one. It says 12. 12? Yeah, we got to make 12 flying geese. There's 4 in each block. Three. Let me see. Yeah, there's 3 in each block. And there's 4 blocks. Oh, I got hung up here on my little corner. Let me fix that. Yeah, that happens, see, because these corners, you got to be careful. See that? Right there? Yeah. You got to be careful. I'll have to put another leader in there ahead of that. Let's see. This is an older machine. She gets a little temperamental sometimes, no matter how hard I try, and there we go. Sometimes she wants to pull the thread down. I got to change the needle in this. I'm probably going to do that after I get done making these blocks. It's time. It's been in there a while. I've made a couple of quilts with it. It's time for it to go. And then once I get these sewn together, I will come back. I have 3 more to go here, and I'm gonna iron them out. And then after I get done ironing, I will come back and we will work on the rest. All right, come on. I haven't sewed in like a week. I've had a friend here visiting, and she just went home today. And my office is her room when she's here visiting. So I decided today that I wanted to come in here and spend some time with you guys and work on these blocks. Okay, I have all 8 of these sewn together, and I'm going to iron them, and I'll be right back. Now, I iron my seams open. You can iron to the dark side if you would like. It's your personal choice how you would like to do that, but I iron open whenever I can. And they want us to attach the CE block to a E rectangle. And the first batch is going to go with the C fabric, which is this one, to the left like this. And then the next batch of 4 will turn it to the right. So we're doing steps 2 and step 3. So for step 2, we're going to do it with the C fabric to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the C fabric is going to be to the left, so it's going to look like this, like that. So we're going to turn that down like that, there, to the left, turn it down, lay them face down, right sides together, like this. And like this. And then step 3, we take the remaining step 1 units, which are these, and we join to the top of E with C to the right. So I am going to go ahead and lay those out, and we'll just chain piece these all together. Now, C is to the right, like that. The other ones, the C is this way. Now it's this way. So we're going to go ahead and do that. To the right. To the right. And to the right. There, now we got them all laid out here and we're ready to go. As I said, if you feel more comfortable pinning, please do so. Just remember, you know, this is not a race. You don't have to try and race through your blocks to get them done. If you have to stop, go take care of something else, come back. If you only get to do a little bit of it or just a partial block in one sitting, just do that. It's okay. If you can, if at all possible, if you can leave your things set up to continue sewing later, that's optimal. I sewed at my dining room table for years and I did not have that luxury. So, you know, I would try to gauge it for when I could do more at one sitting, but so I understand that that's not always the case, to be able to come back when you have time and do a little at a time. Oh, I'm out of bobbin. Shoot. I knew that was coming. That's why I threaded a couple bobbins. I knew that was coming, but I thought it was going to last a little longer than it did. Oh. Change that out really quick. I have another one ready here. That's only a partial because I had a partial spool of thread left, or I was working on the end of the spool, I should say, and so I only got a partial on that last bobbin. This one, that last one didn't quite get finished. So we'll finish this one. Yep, it's always a good idea to have 3 or 4 bobbins on the ready. At least 2. You know, if you don't have a lot of bobbins, you know, if you're not able to have, you know, a dozen bobbins empty at a time to work with, try to have at least 1 or 2 on the ready. Then you can switch them around, you know, and when one is empty, you can fill it again right away, and always have 2 on the ready. That's always good. When I'm quilting on my Singer, I do that out in my dining room where I have more space. I usually have like 4 bobbins sitting there ready because, especially if I'm switching fabric colors, or I mean, I'm sorry, if as long as I'm switching thread colors, then I have like 2 of one color and 2 of the next color ready to go, or 3 if possible. Because I'm working on my Queen of Diamonds. I'm quilting my Queen of Diamonds quilt right now, and there's a lot of colors in that quilt. And so, well, this thing is being uncooperative. So, I am switching thread colors like 4 times through the quilt and switching them at different intervals. And so I have like, I don't know, I think I have like 6 or 8 spools out there loaded with the various colors of thread. When I do these little 9 patches, I press to the dark side so that they come together really nicely for me. That works out good. gotta think about it for a second. Sometimes you get mixed up and you'll get the wrong colors together. Okay, so we have these done. We should have 8. We have 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one is that one that I had to restart. 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is what they are going to look like. That's with C to the left. Over here on this end. These are with C to the right. So I'm going to press these and we will move on to the next step. Okay, so we have these all sewn together and ironed, and like as I said, I ironed to the right side, to the ironing the seam open. Oh, words are hard sometimes when you're tired. It's been a long weekend with my friend. We had a good time. So anyway, those are done to the left and to the right with the C square. Now we're going to set these aside, and we are going to work on step 4. We are making flying geese. So because these are all pre-die cut, we're doing them the traditional way, and we're making 12. So we're going to start with sewing the B triangle to the top right. Okay, and these have to go this way with the goose flying upward, and we're going to do 12. So we'll start with these. Okay, we have lots of bees to go through, lots of them. There was 24 of these altogether. So gonna put this on right sides together, right sides together. We're gonna sew this on this side like this, right down here, and then we're gonna put the other one on, sew it on, and we open it up, and it will look like a flying geese. Okay, so we've got 12, one side done of 12 flying geese. And I'm just going to make this flat here. Okay, I'm going to cut these apart. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting these, and then I will iron them and prepare them to put on the other side, and then we'll be right back. So I've got all these ironed, all 12 of them. Now, because there was so many of them, I went ahead and ironed them to the dark side just to save a little time. And one thing you got to remember when you're ironing, you want to press your iron on and hold it. Press your iron on and hold it. Because what happened was I didn't realize I still had one under my iron. And I don't know if you can see that. It's really wrinkly right there. And it's really wrinkly right there. I don't know there. Maybe you could see it like that. There. I got the iron moved, and I think this is going to be all right, but I caught it. But you got to be careful when you're ironing on the bias, and we all make those mistakes. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go through these and do the other side of the flying geese. And this will go on, if you've never seen a flying geese before, this will go on like this, and you will, when you sew it on the 1/4 inch, you'll turn it up, and it'll be something like that once you turn it up. So we have all of our flying geese ironed, and they are ironed to the dark side on the back. And so that completes step 4 of our instructions. And I just go through and I mark it with a check mark, just as a visual to help me know where I'm at in case I have to walk away. Now the next step is going to be step 5, and we are going to be joining step 4 join 3 step 4 units, one on top of the other, and make 4 of those, and they should measure 6.5 by 9.5, and they look like that. So that is our next step. Now, let's see. So these are going to have to be joined this way. So we don't have to worry about joining up any seams or anything like that. And you want to make sure that you're on your 1/4 inch mark so that you don't chop off your point on your lower flying geese. Which that happens. I mean, and if it does, it does. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. There's 2. Kind of taking a mental note as I do the first row. Because we got to have 4 blocks of 3. You see, you have your flying geese point that you're going to be sewing through, and you want to be on your 1/4 inch. So you land at that point right there or just above it. And like I said, you know, best laid plans, that doesn't always happen. I mean, we could sew them this way and so that your point is up. Then you can keep an eye on that and see where it's at. I'll do that on this one so you can see it. And as you come across, you want to make sure that, there we go. Yep, perfect. That you're at that point or over top of it. 2, 3, 4. So we got 1 more set to do. Like this, and then we will add that last block on there. I'll turn this over and do this one that way as well. We're going to start putting together our first 9 patch. Not that one, this one. And if you iron your squares in the right direction to the dark side, you will be able to line them up pretty close. I'm a little off once in a while because I don't pin these, but they usually come out pretty good. I've been making these for a while. I saw Andrea at Arkansas Gals was doing this, and I thought, what a cool idea. I hadn't really thought much about it. I had these old leaders and enders from scraps of fabric that I was using, and I thought, well, why would I not, instead of wasting that extra thread in that, why would I not make it productive and put it into a block? So here's what our first 2 look like. See, that point got just a little low on that one. This one is really good. That one, that's how it's supposed to look. That one is really good. This one is really good. See, now these two middle ones, these were the ones that I sewed as I was visually looking at my point. So that one is really good. Yeah, this one's pretty good too. That's really good too. So now I'm going to sew the last one on the top, and then I will iron these. So we'll sew this on the top here. So I'll have 3 like that. This block is coming together really fast. The last one I did, block number 2, that one took a little while. That was a little harder. This one's pretty simple. I don't know what the large ones are like. I haven't looked, but I think Crystal Heart, I think she's doing a large one. I think Ian at Off Kilter Crafter, I think he's doing a large one, I believe, don't quote me, but I think he is. And, see, there's Crystal Heart, Ian. I don't know if So Becca is doing this one. She was doing the Tree of Life, I think. I don't know if she's doing this one. I can't recall. This is number 3. Okay, this way. My brain's like, what am I doing? Let's see. So, and this is the last one. There we go. I didn't square these up, so they're a little squirrely at the top. So you got to kind of work with it. Line them up as best you can, and keep in mind that one might be a little lower than the other, and you got to adjust it as you sew across. But if it works out, you just got to keep that in mind and pay attention to what you're doing. Okay. There, we have part of our little 9 patch. See, they came together pretty well, my 4 corners, or 3 corners there. They came together really well. I just kind of eyeballed it. So I'm going to put this on there, the other end, as my ender here for this. These are really pretty colors. I did a quilt for my granddaughter, and these are leftovers. Her quilt was a Halloween themed quilt. Okay, let's have a look at 1 or 2 and see how they came out. Oh, isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? I love those. Flying geese take a little time to do, but gosh, they are so satisfying when they're done. They are so satisfying. Oh, and there's number 3. I got a big smile on my face, but you can't see it. And there's number 4. Okay, So our next step is going to be to join step 2, which were these that we made, to step 5. Join step 2 to the left of step 5, add step 3 to the right, so that the C's are on going opposite directions. Okay, so I'm going to get these ironed and we will move on to the next step. So these are all ironed, and I ironed them all up, all the cross seams up on these for speed and convenience. Now we're going to take these blocks that we made, and our C block has to be pointing like this with the flying geese in the center. Okay, so we'll take our first one. We're going to work with the C blocks that go to the right first. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that on there. We have one seam right there to match up. So let's do that. And as I said before, we'll go through this again. You take your pen, you eyeball your seam, get it as straight on there as you can. Okay. Match up your fabric. Put your pen through your seam. Pop it out on the other side. And mine is off just a little bit right there, so I'm going to grab my back fabric. I'm going to pull the pen and I'm going to scooch it over just a little so that it gets in that seam. And my pen has to be standing straight up and down, and it's in the seam on this side, and it's in the seam on this side. So that will line up that seam for me so that it isn't crooked. Now I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of these. Okay, now we've got the right side on, and we've got our first 9 patch completed. Bring that. There we go. There's our first 9 patch for today. We're going to cut these apart. Take a look at a couple of them. So here's what they look like. Now if you notice, your seam will match up really nicely right there. As long as you use the pinning method that I showed you, it will come out really nice. And they all look the same. Yep, that one turned out pretty good. Very nice. Now we're going to put the left side on. And then I will iron these, and then these blocks will be finished. So this is the left side here, and it's going to go on like that. Okay. Get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. Okay, so we've got the last step done, and I am going to put an ender in there, take this off, and then we'll have a look at a couple of them. Okay, here they are. This is what block 3 looks like for the small Wild West Puzzle Mystery Quilt. Those are really cool. I really like those. And you got to remember that they are a puzzle and not a traditional quilt block. So I'm going to iron these, and I'll lay a couple of them out here, and we'll have a look at them once they're nice and flat. So these are the finished blocks for clue 3 of the Wild West Cotton Cuts Fall 2024 Puzzle Mystery Quilt. And I'm so glad that you were able to be here. So this is Annette, also known as Grandma D, saying, I care about you, I love you, and I hope you're well. And I hope that you enjoyed this edition of the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt Wild West 2024. And I will be back soon with clue 4, as I have that in hand also. And we will be working on that soon. So you have a great day and a better day tomorrow. And we'll talk soon. Bye-bye for now.